I'm Steve Vernon. For over 30 years, I worked as a consulting actuary, and I helped corporations, nonprofits, and union organizations design, fund, administer, and communicate their retirement programs. As an actuary, I'm acutely aware of the challenges we face. We've got to make our retirement savings last for the rest of our lives, and we don't want to get wiped out by medical bills. For the last 15 years, I've been writing and speaking on these issues. Along the way, I wrote 2 books, Don't Work Forever and Live Long and Prosper. So I decided to go on a quest to see how could I best live the rest of my life. I talked with a lot of experts. I wanted to hear the latest thinking and research. I also talked with a lot of people from all walks of life. I wanted to find good examples to follow. And as it turned out, those examples were a lot closer to me than I thought. So come join me. Look over my shoulder as I go on my quest to see how can we best live the rest of our lives. A few people have put a lot of thought and planning into their later years. Unfortunately, most people haven't, and as a result, they don't have the financial resources for a traditional retirement. You know that retirement is on people's minds when you see cartoons in the New Yorker on this subject. Here's one of my favorites. A man addressing his wife. If we take late retirement and early death, we'll just squeak by. At least he has a plan. I hope to find a better one. If we've spent a career at an employer with a good pension plan, then we've got a good chance at a traditional retirement. Unfortunately, that doesn't describe too many people. So we'll have to change the conversation. Instead of waiting for retirement to make our lives happy, why don't we focus on having a long, healthy, prosperous life? Now that goal is within reach for most Americans. So that's where we'll go on our quest. I talked with John Nelson, who co-authored a great book, What Color is Your Parachute for Retirement?
To the extent we could create a model that is a tool that retirement educators and individuals could use to know what the whole point of retirement education, what the goal of this was for individuals, that was the purpose of the retirement well-being model. And it's just based on the definition of well-being, which is health, happiness, and prosperity. And that there's enough scientific knowledge in those areas for us to literally plan our lives in retirement based on prosperity, health, and happiness.
But one thing is clear to me, is that I'm no longer planning just for my retirement. I'm planning for my rest of life. I spent some time with Joe Piscatella at a cabin near his office in Washington State. I met him at a conference sponsored by Sally Haas. He wrote 2 books and conducts seminars and workshops that help us make healthy choices.
We are always very, very concerned about longevity, which is the length of time that you're going to live. It's an important question. But I'm much more concerned about what I call health span. How many of those years will be healthy? How many of those years will you be able to live on your own? We want to have health span and longevity be very close to one another so that there is not a lot of time with protracted illness. You live well, you're healthy, you have a short bout of an illness, and then you die at the end of your life. When we look at populations that live long and also have long health spans, we find that there are some characteristics. What you find is the basis being just what we talked about.
So for our life portfolio, we need to pay attention to diet, exercise, and managing our stress. The research suggests that if we do a good job on these, we can reduce the odds of incurring expensive medical conditions by up to 50% and add 5 to 7 years of healthy life. If we all did this as a nation, we could cut our medical bills in half. Now those are great odds, and I'll take that bet. On that note, let's turn our attention to money. Most Americans don't know how much money it takes for a traditional retirement, where we retire full-time and live just on our financial resources. I hope to help Americans know how much they need so they can develop a realistic life plan. I want to answer important questions like, when can we retire? How much do we need to save? And should we work part-time during our retirement years? We'll have to think about how much we really need and how much that costs. We'll have to figure out what's the best balance between income from working and income from financial resources. Even if we have a good pension, we'll have to learn how to manage our retirement savings and address the threat of large medical costs. What a journey it's been. Before I went on my quest, I had hope that retirement would improve my quality of life. But hope is not a good strategy. Now I've got a great plan to address my fears and concerns, and that gives me the confidence to pursue my hopes and dreams.